Thank you.
Let me know that you can see it so that we were not having difficulties. Can you see it? Okay, good. All right. All right, perfect. So just a couple of housekeeping, right? If you don't want me to hear you, go ahead and hit mute. And if you have some questions, but you don't want to interrupt me, feel free to just put your questions in the chat box. All right. So that way that's the easiest thing. Or maybe if you're not sure if you're going to remember your question, just write it in the chat box and I can get to it at the end of the workshop. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Olga St-Pierre, and I am a real estate agent in our community. And my passion, besides helping everyone make a move, is also being a resource to the community and taking what we see on TV and social media and making it more realistic and relevant. So that is the goal for these workshops. I do a bunch of them on a monthly basis. Now it's a lot easier than it used to be because now everything is on Zoom. So we're going to share with you the schedule that we are updating on a regular basis for things that are coming up this month and next month. So be sure to refer back to it. We'll record all of our workshops and they can be found on my YouTube channel, which we will share with you a link as well at the end. I appreciate you joining me today. And the goal for today is just to talk about some of the renovation projects, best values, tips and tricks on doing some of the updates in your home, in your backyard, inexpensively, right? If you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a big budget. And I have an update, fresh update for you today on what are some of the trends that we're seeing coming up in 2021 for paint colors and so forth. And just a little bit about me. I have been licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania and serving our clients for the last 12 years. I truly love what I do. Our team mission is to intend everyone's dream of home ownership come true with some planning and some budgeting. We also do help pretty much anyone in the United States or Canada. So if you're thinking about making a move, your friends or family, coworkers, your church members, we can help you. Just let us know how we can do that. And we do have a very extensive concierge service. In addition to our marketing plans that we help our clients, we have a list of home contractors, assistants, senior services, staging inspectors, CPAs, financial consultants, insurance, you name it, we have it. So think of us as virtual yellow pages. So if you have any questions or if you want to bounce some ideas or questions with us, we are here and I welcome these anytime. It is truly not a bother. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. So we dream of what we see on HDTV, right? Isn't it awesome where you see things on TV and it looks so beautiful and they make it look so nice. And what I can tell you that what the reality is, some of those shows, it's not as pretty. I actually had a client who purchased a home that was part of the show last month or a month ago. And it was interesting to see what really goes in behind the scenes, how things get put together, and then how they appear on TV, what we see, right? So reality versus TV reality. So, even though we love the ideas on HDTV, I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can have that perfect HDTV home. And today what we're going to talk about is some of the top renovation projects that will give you the most return on your investment. I get this question a lot. Well, Olga, if I'm going to finish the basement, is this going to increase the value of the home? And what I can tell you that in general is that if you put in $100,000 into your home, right, as a rough number, that does not mean that the value of your home overall is going to increase by $100,000. So that is one thing that's important to understand. So whether you are doing these renovations for yourself, because I encourage everyone to enjoy the home that you live in, right? And not to do the renovations because you are moving, is just to think about what is it that you want, right? What is it that you want to do for the home because it is for you. Inexpensive tips and tricks that are going to make you want to plan a staycation in your home, especially now, and truly enjoy it. You know, staycation is actually a word. Best places to shop for some of the amazing things for your home. I actually have befores and afters for you. And yes, top current trends for 2021 in terms of paint, bathrooms, decor, and lots more. And one of the important things that I reiterate to you is that even if you're telling me that I'm not planning to make a move, we never know. Things can change overnight, and the move might be something that you have to look forward to. It is really important to understand what are the values that buyers have that are looking for in your community, in your neighborhood, right? Things definitely change from state to state, from county to county, right? Different school districts. So it's important to understand what is it that people are looking for in your own community. That's one. And two, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I am in my own home since 2005. The way I renovated my home and did the updates back when I moved in, right now, I know that with time and more experience, my tastes have changed, right? So if I was to do some renovations now and some updates, I'm probably not going to use the same color of paint because I have other interests. I have other tastes that have matured and changed over the years, right? And again, the goal is everything that I'm sharing you today can be done on a budget, right? It does not have to cost you thousands of dollars. So unfortunately, when I was designing this workshop and I update it on a regular basis, I still have not been able to find anything that is local in terms of what projects are going to give you the most value and are going to give you the most and the highest return. So this is still mostly relevant. And in this workshop, we are not focusing on complete remodels of kitchens and bathrooms. We're looking about doing some budget things that are visually going to bring you the most change that you can see that is going to look great. But this is a pretty comprehensive list. If we're talking about minor remodels, what is it going to make and give you the most return on some of the minor things? So just take your time to look at it, but remember, it is overall pretty much what is relevant everywhere, right? It's not something that is focused more on how things are and what is the demand in our community. So let's jump right in. The number one thing that you can do to your home to spruce it up, to make it look bigger, is paint, right? Paint has been the popular choice and it still is. And what I am focusing on when I'm talking about paint and when I make recommendations to my clients is staying neutral. All right. We focus on really three families of colors. It's your grays, your beiges, and your whites. Most of the painters will tell you that they prefer to use Sherwin-Williams as well as Benjamin Moore colors. They are more expensive than something that you're going to find in Home Depot and Lowe's. However, the good news is that whatever color that you see, let's say Benjamin Moore, right? These are the most popular gray family colors. You can actually take this color and this code to Home Depot or Lowe's, and they're going to match it because the technology is amazing nowadays, and they're going to be able to match it and get you this color in their own brand, like Valspar at Lowe's or Behr at Home Depot. So this is the neutrals in grays in Benjamin Moore, and here are your Sherwin-Williams top colors. And what I can tell you is that these top colors really have not changed in the last 2 to 3 years. They're still there. All right. So you can, my recommendation to you is that, I am a very visual person. I like to touch things. I like to see them to kind of get a feel for things. So the way it looks on the computer versus the way it might look on the printed piece of paper, it may be different the way it would look in natural light or yellow light, depending what you have at home versus what you have on the walls. So we're going to talk about some tips on the best way to kind of figure out what colors may be good for you. So let's talk about colors. All right. So what are the 2021 color palette trends? So here's where we are. So Pantone is one of the leading agencies that keeps track, and all the designers are following in terms of colors and what are the trends and what do they see coming. So their color choices for 2021 are gray and yellow. And I actually think it's a pretty cool combination because gray has been a neutral color of choice for a while. I love how you can have a pop of color that is just so pleasing on the eyes. And you can see here the photo is where you can have a neutral kitchen, right? Where it's mostly grays and whites, and then you can change the color. In this case, it's that yellow, and be able to just pop the color in, right? Which is very easy to change. So this is your gray and yellow from Pantone. Rust-Oleum, which is one of my favorite brands that I recommend to you for different projects, actually picked out a color called Satin Paprika. That is their color choice for the year. And Benjamin Moore is called Aegean Teal, which is this color right here. Very muted, very nice kind of like color of the sea. And Sherwin-Williams picked Urbane Bronze, which is very dramatic color, as their color choice for 2021. So the other thing that I am seeing and I'm using in my own staging services, as well as what I'm recommending to clients, is one of the easiest ways to do some things on the budget is to have a neutral color room where you choose a accent color that you like and you decorate with it. And the reason why it's a great way of decorating is because if you get tired of that color, you don't have to change your furniture. You don't have to paint the whole room. You can just take new pieces. You can repaint new pieces, or you can just swap them out, right? So an example here is the color of like turquoise, right? Everything else is neutral, but you have turquoise pieces, and they're very easy to do. 2 lamps, your bedding, and a print, right? And also take a note at how high they're hanging the curtains. That's actually one of the tips that I have in this workshop to help you visually make your room look larger, is by hanging your curtains as high as possible to the ceilings. And I have a little tip for that that's going to be discussed a little bit further down. So this bedroom is teal. This is the color of that kitchen that I already shared with you. You choose the color that you love as an accent color, and you use that in your decor items, whether it's plates or cups or flowers, things like that. Or if you wanted to have more of neutrals, right? Grays and maybe some blacks and whites, you can do all natural black and white and gray room as well. So this is one of the easiest ways for you to be able to decorate on the budget without having to purchase new furniture or do major painting if this is not something that you really want to tackle. All right, other trends that we are seeing for 2021 are warm kitchen cabinet colors, right? My usual recommendation is you go either white or dark. What I am seeing now are some of the, grays and some of the light browns. I have clients right now that are putting in the new kitchen, and it's like a light, medium to light gray color of the cabinets. I've seen cabinets that were very like pastel turquoise. So it's interesting to see where the trends are going with that. It is contemporary and modern look that is in right now for kitchens and bathrooms. What's in the bathrooms are motion control and touchless faucets are in. In the kitchen, people want more storage and more organization, right? Especially in pantry and for small appliances, because people have been cooking more in the last year, okay? Connection with outdoors has been very important. Larger windows, doors, to be able to see the nature and outside. Large tile for bathrooms, which is, some of it is like non-traditional subway tile. Again, it's modern colors, modern look. Subway tile overall is truly classic, but there are some variations that you can do now, not just white, staggered, or just pretty much, standard kind of layering. So that was interesting for me to see. And quartz is becoming a more popular choice for countertops over granite and other options. And the reason being is, yes, it is more expensive, but it's easy to maintain. It is chip resistant and stain resistant as well. And I'm sure you can imagine people are looking for more space right now in homes because they need an office, they need a separate room for their kids, maybe to play and to study as well, and a separate place to relax. So this is what I am seeing, and I'll be really curious to kind of follow this trend to see if that changes or not, because more people are now working from home and having school at home, to see how that changes in overall real estate. All right, let's jump in. We are painting. Here are some solutions for you, right? So the regular traditional way is for you to go out to the store and get some sample containers, okay? And I strongly recommend to you that you need to try each color that you are testing in every single room of your home, because depending on if the sun is coming in from one side of the room, it comes in from the back, or maybe your room does not get sun at all, it makes a difference on what the color is going to look like. Believe me, I learned on my own mistake, so I am trying to save you the frustration and the money of repainting. If you do not want to get an actual brush and actually paint your wall, there's some great ways of you using basically sticky notes, right? It's like Post-it notes. They're low tack adhesive in the back, and they actually represent a true color of the paint of your choice that you're trying to try, right? You can take these, you can actually put them on the wall, then you can reposition them in different room. And the good thing about it is when you're done, you can throw them away, right? And your walls are still in good shape and there's no paint on it. So a couple of places you can get them. You can get them bear.com. You can get them at Home Depot. Samplies has them 12 by 12 samples, and they do use the popular brands. And then you can also check out Sure Swatch and then Ask Val. All of these use the technology where you're able to imagine things sometimes even without having to get to the actual point of painting or even doing the squares. Now, some color ideas. I actually took this from a house that was for sale in our area. And I just wanted to share with you some of the things that in the reasons why I chose these photos. Okay, so number one, if you have dark paneling, that does not mean that you have to remove it if you're trying to update your home a little bit. Like in this home, if you look behind the fireplace, that is paneling. That probably used to be like a dark brown color. And what they did is they did two things right. They picked an accent color because they did not want to have the whole room all neutral. They picked a nice muted color and they were able to paint that paneling and update the room overall, okay? They probably painted the shelf as well and probably did something to the fireplace to update, but look how nice it looks, right? It is a focal point in your room. Your eyes are drawn to it and it's already updated. They took the same accent color right to their entryway. The only thing they painted was really the wall around the door and this little area here, and that was it. And I really like how they did that because the color kind of, connected with the entryway and your fireplace wall as well. Now, outside, nobody says that you can't brighten your shed. What they did is the same house as they actually painted the doors red. And you know what? I was there when it was I think it was late fall, and it was dreary, it was raining, and then being able to see just a little pop of color has actually made me smile because I really liked how they did it, and it was very, very simple. So I encourage you and invite you to take the paint a little bit further than just walls and try to kind of experiment. Okay, now two of my favorite technology tools for you to try out as early as today. If you're not there where you want to go to the store and get your samples, you don't want to get the swatches and stickies, then try this technology. What I truly love about it is that you can take a picture of any room in your home. You can upload it to the visualizer by Sherwin-Williams. It's going to populate with your photo, and then you can use the mouse or you can use the pad on your laptop or your iPad and just try different colors and paint all of the walls in that room, or maybe do one accent wall and you can try different colors. I loved playing around with it because it gives you a visual perspective on, do I want an accent wall? Don't I want it? Do I want neutrals? Do I want to go darker? And you can then erase it and start all over. I think it's a great way for you to start visualizing on what you want to do. You can do kitchens, you can do bathrooms, you can take a picture of your front door, right? If you're trying to brighten up your exterior, you just don't know where to start, take a picture of your exterior of your home, upload it, and start painting your front door different colors and see what that looks like. So I'm very excited about this technology. I love that they have it made available. So I encourage you to give it a shot sooner than later. Now, it does make a difference on what type of paint that you use. So here's a really great little handy guide for you. Depending where you are painting, you do need to pick the right paint. So if you're painting your kitchens and your bathrooms, you need to make sure that the paint is specifically made for kitchens and baths because it's antimicrobial. If you're going to be painting areas that have high traffic, you definitely want to check out eggshell or satin, because to those you can take your magic eraser, which is one of my favorite tools to erase scuff marks, and then you can clean it up, right? So they're washable. Flat paint, which is the least expensive, will it will mark, but you're not going to be able to clean it. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And of course, for trim, for doors, the best paint is semi-gloss and gloss. So use that guide depending on where you want to paint. And also, I really love this idea of how you keep track with the paint, right? A lot of people keep their actual cans. Unless you're planning on using the open can within the next 6 months or so, that paint is going to go bad because it's already been open and exposed to air. So there is no point in keeping it. But if you're trying to keep it because you want to know and refer back to what was that color, this is a great way of doing it. Take one of your outlet covers, flip it open, and then make a note. When that was painted, what was painted, what was the brand, and you can actually clip a little like tag that has the paint, all of the paint information from the store. I love that idea so much because it's great to provide you with all of the information. All right, let's jump into some of the projects. One of the easiest ways, as I mentioned to you, is when you're on the exterior and you're trying to dress up your home, is just thinking about painting your front door, okay? Replacing the front door is expensive. Those are heavy duty. A lot of them are metal. So why don't you try first and paint it, right? You can always replace it later if the paint does not look good, or maybe your door itself is not in good shape, okay? This is something you can do in one weekend. And again, I am encouraging you to try beautiful colors, right? It does not have to be a dull white, does not have to be black. Try some really cool colors. And if you're not sure, use that technology where you can just do it on your computer. Give it a try, okay? You can express your style with hardware, with the lighting, flowers, and make sure you buy the appropriate exterior paint because of the weather conditions. Here are some before and afters of what you can do, right, for the curb appeal. They painted this black, they updated some lighting as well as the hardware, added the welcome mat and flowers, and look how beautiful it looks. Okay, so just some ideas and some thoughts for you. Project number 2. For this one, you don't even need hardware, right? I found this as an idea, and I thought this was so cool. Guys, these are magnets, okay? Most of our garage doors are metal. So this is something that you can find right on Amazon. They are magnets. You can dress up your doors in a matter of 30 minutes with little windows, brackets for hinges and handles. Okay, so however you want to do this, you can do this really quickly and really dress it up your doors. So you can find this again on Amazon. Okay, a couple of other suggestions. This is something big that I always suggest to my clients. And you know, I get it that you may want to put your trash cans close by because you roll them out once or twice a week, right, to put them out. But this is one of the easy ways for you to kind of cover up some of the ugly things that we don't want to see on a regular basis. You can buy these lattices right at Home Depot or Lowe's, or if you want to make them, there are tons of videos on YouTube on how to do that. But it's a great way to hide some of the things that you have in your front yard or maybe in your backyard, which includes your AC unit, right? Water and gas meters, trash cans. And if you have garden hoses, it is always a good idea to hide them and put them somewhere where it's somewhat protected from the elements, because you know everything will eventually deteriorate if it's exposed to the elements. Next, let's talk about some of the big things inside the house. Okay, I get this question all the time. Olga, I don't have $10,000 to $15,000, $20,000 to put a new kitchen in. And I always ask them with the question, are your cabinets in good shape, right? And most of them will say, oh yeah, they look pretty good. They just look tired, okay? Well, I always tell them, how about you try to paint them first, right? I always am, a school of thought is let's try paint it if it is an option, if your product is in good shape, because you can always replace it if it's not, okay? Or maybe the painting doesn't work. They have tons of products right now that, you know, Home Depot makes, and Lowe's, and of course Benjamin Moore and Sherwin-Williams. They all make specific paint that is for kitchen cabinets. Okay, it may take you longer than a weekend, right? That's why I did not designate it as a weekend project, but it's always an amazing opportunity to transform your kitchen. My rule of thumb is if you have a small kitchen, you need to go lighter in color, okay? Because the darker color is going to make the kitchen look even smaller. So I always tend to suggest color white, because white is going to reflect light and it's going to make the room look brighter and bigger, as you can see from the picture on the left. Now, if you do decide to go something darker, if you have a nice big kitchen that accommodate that, the popular choices in colors are like espresso right now, which is really dark coffee, okay? Now, I have seen people do two tones, right? Bottom cabinets can be gray or light gray or something else. Top can be white, as you can see from the photos on the right. It's up to you to play around. Again, use that technology. Take a picture of your kitchen, upload it, and play around with colors and see what you like. Here's another one where they updated, right? These are your typical 80s style oak cabinets. Cabinets are in great shape. So easy way to update them is you paint them and add hardware, which is one of the other tips that I give. And here we go, right? If you have your cabinets in great shape and you want to dress them up, again, it's a visual improvement that is very easy to do and quick, right? You can actually get your kids involved because they will enjoy doing the screws and, you know, replacing all the hardware for you. This is a way to do that. And also, if you think about it, if you don't have your knobs and your pulls on your doors right now, this is how your cabinets do deteriorate, because we are in the kitchen 300 times a day. And we use our hands and we use our nails, which means that our cabinets, our drawers, our doors, they get scratched on a regular basis and they get dirty. So having the pulls and the knobs is a way also for protecting your cabinets and making sure that they last as long as possible. I am actually seeing some of the gold things that are coming back now, right? Some of the trends. I'm still not a fan. I still don't recommend them. I still suggest that you go with cool colors. There's some crystal, some muted, you know, silver is really still the best way to go. It is the most popular choice. Or you can do bronze as well. That's another popular choice for knobs and pulls. Updating your appliances. I don't know, guys, if you've seen this. If you have white appliances, if you have black and you really, really desire to have stainless steel, you may not have to replace your appliances if they're still working, okay? You can find this stainless peel and stick contact paper right on Amazon, and you can turn your appliances into stainless steel, right? It is, of course, a temporary solution, right? It's not an actual stainless steel from top to bottom, but I think on the budget, I think this actually looks amazing. So you have to make sure that you follow instructions, right? You have to make sure that you have enough, because if you're doing panels on your refrigerator, you need to have enough of the paper. But you can buy this right on Amazon and give it a try. So you can see the befores and afters, and I think they look amazing. I have seen people try them on their refrigerators, on their range hoods. You just have to take your time, and this is definitely something that you can do on a weekend. Let's talk about your lighting, all right? If your lighting is in great shape, but it's probably have seen, you know, last decade or so, again, my suggestion for you is give it a try and spray paint it. Okay, for this one, I definitely recommend Rust-Oleum. Again, one of my favorite brands because it's inexpensive and it's so versatile. For this one, you can use something that's metallic and it's paint and primer in one, okay? You do need to read instructions. You do need to take this outside most likely, but you can do this pretty much for any lighting that you have, right? Whether it's inside or outside. And again, try it and paint it and see how it looks, because you can always replace it if it doesn't look good, right? But here are some of your befores and afters of the colors that were done. I know that for this metallic color, they have all different colors. So you can really truly pick which color you want and make it your choice versus just pick from what manufacturer has if you were to go and buy a new one. Now, let's talk about your countertops. If quartz, yes, it's expensive, and granite is expensive, and you just don't have the budget for it, yet your countertop looks great, why not paint it? Okay, Rust-Oleum does make countertop paint kit as well. It's a little bit more expensive. I found this Gianni brand on Amazon, and the whole kit comes with everything that you need. And I love the choice of colors. If you're looking for dark because your cabinets are light, or other, you know, vice versa, they have really nice colors, and it's not expensive. It's the most that I have found, the price was $80 for your whole kitchen counter. versus paying between $3,000 and $5,000 for brand new countertops. So definitely check that out if that is something that you have been contemplating doing and it's an option in your own kitchen. Let's talk about lighting. All right, if you are not able to paint it and it's time for it to go and be retired, here are some suggestions for you. One of my favorite places to look for lighting is Wayfair. I have a couple of pieces that I have bought from them. What I love about them is they have tons of options, and they have tons of options for budget-friendly purchases as well. Okay, so again, people are looking for modern colors now, modern design, brushed nickel, oil rubbed bronze. Although some of the golds, again, are kind of making a comeback, right? So like this lighting right here above the dining room table is from Home Depot. All the other pieces that I have examples for you here are from Wayfair. What I also like about Wayfair, it's actually most of the things that you buy there are free shipping. So that's important. And some of it actually gets to your house relatively quickly as well. Now, in the kitchen, if you want to have a modern look, and you want to get some of these pendants, which have been in lately, and you have recessed lights, you can actually buy a recessed light converters, and you can make this a quick weekend project, and you can actually put the pendants in. Okay, so they sell them in a pack of 3. If you just need 1, or if you want to buy more, definitely check them out to see what those options are. I always love to find these little tricks that you can do with your existing something, and you can convert it into something else that's modern and really nice looking. Let's talk about your bathrooms. I often have clients that come to me and say, Olga, my tile in the bathroom is in great shape. I don't see the need to replace it, but man, the colors are just not today, right? And what we're talking about is some pastels, blacks, pinks, right? Yellows, greens, blues. I've seen everything. And you know what? If the whole house has that retro look, I love it. And I actually tell the clients, don't do anything, because I have seen some really, really cool bathrooms that really match the feel of the house, which is what the owner has. And but most of the time I was like, yes, we do need to do something about it. And one of the ways to go about without having to replace and gut the whole bathroom pretty much, if you're talking about tile, is to paint it. Now, it is not a simple paint. It is a special epoxy type of paint. And you really need to be careful and follow the instructions, because it's really, really smelly. So for this kind of project, if you're not handy and if you're not sure about this, I do recommend having a professional do it for you. However, the cost of hiring a professional to do, let's say, a tub, maybe for $300, is definitely less expensive than if you were to renovate and pretty much gut your whole bathroom. So my recommendation is paint everything white. You can paint the tub, the tile, you can paint the sink, you can paint the shower. That's what I've had clients do. Even if you have like built-in, towel holders or toilet paper holders, all of those things can be painted. And Rust-Oleum does make a tub and tile refinishing kit. And I know their professionals use some of their own stuff. So just be careful, because it's an epoxy type of paint and it's very, very smelly. Now, remember I mentioned to you about the curtains? This is one of the easiest ways for you to make the room look larger, right? My first trick always, if people are trying to make a small room look bigger, is paint it a lighter color. So that's my rule number 1. My rule number 2 is to see how you have your curtains hanging around your window. Right? What we, for some reason, always do is we frame the window with the curtains, right? And what it does visually, it kind of narrows out that room, that wall, and that is not really the right way. You know, this kind of was a tip that I saw from interior designers when they were staging and decorating models in the new construction, right? If you ever look at the magazine, I encourage you to kind of look at the windows to see how they set up and they stage the windows. You will see that there's such a high attention to detail, because visually they want you to fall in love with what you're looking at. And of course, the goal in new construction in the model homes is to help you fall in love with the house and go ahead and buy it. Okay, so rule of thumb, 13 inches on the side, 10 inches on the top, basically as high as you can go. Okay, so these are actual picture from a house that was for sale in the neighborhood. The seller is a designer, interior designer that I know, and that's what she does in every home that she either helps her clients or one of her own. The curtains go all the way up as high as to the ceiling as possible. And this is the photo that you saw earlier. I thought that was pretty cool, where they put up the curtains as high as possible, right? And it really helps making the visually the room look larger. So give it a try. Take some befores and afters and send them to me, because I always love to see if people are experimenting with some of the tips and tricks that I share in this workshop. Let's talk about doors. All right. Barn doors, easy to do, are great space savers, and they are still very much in. And the cool thing about the barn doors, you can really pretty much hang just about anything that you want. I've seen people being really creative, like using pallets. You just need the hardware and something to hang. So here are some ideas for you. I find it really enjoyable to see it if you have no way of putting in the doors that can swing, right? Because you don't have the space maybe. So barn doors are great for space saving if you have the wall space. Okay, you can actually replace your French doors and use barn doors. They're still classy, they're still very formal. Or you can use your barn doors as an actual accent piece, right? Not exactly like a wall, but it's still an accent piece that I absolutely love as well here. All right, some tips for you to make your home more welcoming, okay? People always think that they have to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on artwork for your home, and I don't agree with that. You can do these things on a budget. One of my favorite ways when I stage homes for my clients who are getting ready to sell is to use, I actually have a collection of black and white photographs. Okay, and I hang them depending on where the wall needs it. Sometimes you can even create a wall above your bed that makes it look like a headboard. Okay, one of the tricks that I have learned from someone is if you were to buy one of these big coffee books, right, that they sell at Barnes and Noble, if you want to go to the store and actually find a couple, it's either a set of photographs by a photographer, or it could be some best architecture in the world, or places to see, or whatever it might be. A lot of the times those books are high quality paper and high quality photos, and you can actually buy that book and create a wall art with it. Okay, if you're not sure about what kind of frames and so forth, you can actually buy a set of frames. I found this one on Amazon. You get a set of 4 5x7s, 2 8x10s, one a big one, right? And it's $35 for the whole set. And then you can just put the photos inside, and they don't all have to be the same. Here's something that I found on Pinterest. Different combinations of different sizes photos. It does not have to be all equal, and you can actually lay them out on the floor, try them out, and then just hang them later. So it's a great way of inexpensively to dress up just about any room in your house. All right, here we are. Let's talk about some of the inexpensive ways for you to do wall decor. Okay, if you really are into some of the modern styles like brick wall or the shiplap, right, that's still in, and you don't have the ability to actually put the real bricks in the real shiplap, why don't you try some of these removable wallpapers that they have? I actually have seen them in Walmart, and these are the ones that I have found right on Amazon. It's a peel and stick, so you can reposition it. You can use it in any room, whether you want to have an accent wall, or if you want to have a border or some protection for your wall, in the bathroom where your vanity is, or even in the kitchen. Okay, so check them out. They have tons of different colors and varieties. I know Home Depot and Lowe's carry them as well if you want to actually see what that looks like before you buy. Now, here's my fun suggestion for the decorative window film, which is what we talked about before the workshop started. You don't have to go with the really boring frosted color. Okay, they have some really, really cool designs now. Again, this is what I found on Amazon. It's very inexpensive, but with some of them, you can still see out. But if you don't want to, and it's more for protection, maybe for your front door where you have the 2 window panels on the side, or in your bathroom, it's a great way to truly make your window look beautiful. And I know there are some of them that you can actually put up, and it will create like a rainbow on your wall when the sun shines through. So I kind of encourage you to be more playful and see other fun ways of, creating some of these things that you need for, whether it's for protection or whether it's in your bathroom, but there's really some cool ways of doing this. A couple of other things that, or everything that I'm sharing with you today is on Amazon. You can use these fake tropical leaves as your little home decoration items. You can throw them in your favorite glass or vase and just put it anywhere, and it's going to be a really nice decor. Just remember to dust it off once a month or so. The cable cover channel, I use it in my staging because I see it quite often. If you do not have a way to hide the cords, this is a great way to keep them all nice and organized, and it's actually paintable if you want to make it look like it's part of the wall. Now, this shelf, I think is 20 bucks on Amazon. I love it because it's so versatile, because you can put it, again, in any room of your home. You can use the hooks and the shelf in your entryway to hang your keys, the dog leash, hats, book bags, whatever, and then put stuff on top. You can use this in the bathroom, or you can use it in the kitchen. And it's very inexpensive and actually comes in different finishes as well. All right, let's talk about bathrooms, right? A couple of things that we can do to dress up our bathrooms that's inexpensive. If you want to go a little bit further, you can replace your lighting and your faucets, right, to kind of dress them up and make them more modern. If you're looking for some quick fixes, again, swap out the knobs, right? Get some new pulls. And if you don't like the mirror because the clips are still holding onto it, you can actually create a frame right around your mirror. You can do different colors. You can glue it right to the mirror. There's tons of videos on YouTube on how to do that. Next, we're talking about saving space and using everything that you have. Here's some ideas that I actually took from my decluttering class and workshop, if you want to consider taking that as well. Using up hanging storage, using your wall, your door, right? Having baskets, having floating shelves are some of the great ways for you to dress up your bathroom and also use up all the space that you have, not just your under vanity, or use your walls and use your doors. So some suggestions here too. And all of these things you can find on Amazon if you don't want to head out to the stores. Now, garage. These are some of the things that I see all the time when I'm working with clients or I'm showing homes. Guys, use your wall and your ceiling space if you have a garage. It is one of the best ways to get everything off the floor and actually put a car in your garage. Okay, so you can buy these overhead garage storage racks right on Amazon. And then my suggestion, though, for you is to use clear bins so you know exactly what's in there, or write on the bins so that way you know what's there. You can then use hooks under those bins to hang your bikes and your book bags and strollers and wherever else that you have in the garage to make sure that everything is protected, it's not getting dusty. And use your wall space for tools, for your gardening supplies, for your car maintenance. And you can get these organizers on Amazon, Home Depot as well, and Lowe's. All right, Rust-Oleum brand is my absolute favorite because it has so many options. It's very much user-friendly. It has a million different colors. I encourage you to head to Home Depot and Lowe's and actually check out what is offered. They have all different kinds of paints, magnetic, dry erase, glow in the dark. You can really have some fun with it and get your kids involved. They also make appliance epoxy paint. You know how if you get a chip by accident, you can actually buy that paint and then, paint over the chip so that way your appliance looks brand new. And the most important thing, it is really truly budget friendly. All right, where to buy? And for some ideas, of course, our go-tos are Home Depot and Lowe's. Floor and Decor is my favorite. There's one in Langhorne on the PA side and one in Morristown on New Jersey. What I love about them is everything they have, and they have tons of varieties. Everything is in stock, and they will also give you recommendations for installers. I have clients that bought a house in December, and they're using the installers and the material from Floor and Decor to redo all of their floors, and they're extremely happy with the prices and the quality. Wayfair is great, as I mentioned, for just about anything you need. Lamps Plus, Open Box, I found some really good deals on lighting. Overstock, Amazon, eBay is, our staples too, to shop and kind of check things out. And House with double Z's and Pinterest are my go-tos to get ideas. Okay. All right. This last slide, if you are looking for ideas and for other workshops, because I'm always having these light bulb moments and say, you know what, I'm going to say something, talk about something else. This is the Live with Olga link, and the link to our YouTube channel where all of our recordings are of every workshop that we do are there, so you can go back and review and listen to them again. So I'm going to stop sharing now, and I just wanted to share with you, if you can see my bookshelves in the back, right where I'm sitting. So that was the idea that I found on House. And what I really wanted, I had to downgrade. What I really wanted was built-in white shelves because I love to read and I collect some books. Well, when I figured out prices of built-in shelves, they were highly expensive. So I was like, okay, next step down, what are we doing? So I found the idea on House, and they had these built-in these shelves that actually were from IKEA. So I looked at and I priced them out. And instead of white, I actually like the natural look. So this is the unfinished wood shelves from IKEA. And what I ended up doing, instead of having them open, which means that it's going to collect dust all the time, I bought them with doors. So they have glass doors, right? So my idea was to have the shelves and then a TV, which I do have. And then I have a small fireplace that's hanging underneath. So I actually took the idea from House and kind of modified it based on what my budget was. And I was able to get my little library. So that's my little example of how I got things. So that's what I have to share with you today. And Erin, I hope I answered your questions about the covers for the windows. Yeah, okay. So what other questions do you guys have that maybe I didn't answer, or if you have suggestions for some of the things that you have done, I'm always open to those as well.
You mentioned windows to stop the heat from coming in. I'm afraid I didn't write that down. They're 18 feet up. It's a vaulted ceiling.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what the official name is for that type of film, but I think it's like UV resistant, the
Right.
ultraviolet lights. So just check that out. If you were to Google that or put it in Amazon or Home Depot, they will give you the official name. But that's what I know that some of my clients have done, because if you have hardwood floors with the constantly beating sun, they are going to fade, especially with the sliding doors like you mentioned. So that is something that they have found that worked for them.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and then we were talking about, let's see, what is the difference between universal design bathroom and bathroom remodel? What should we look for when picking paint? Okay, we talked about the scuffs. It's important to pick the right paint type, right? If you have a high traffic area, do not use flat paint because that will show every scuff possible. Always choose either eggshell or satin. And one of my favorite ways to remove scuffs is magic eraser. And Cherie is always asking about the universal design bathroom. I'm not familiar with that term. Is this something that you want to kind of elaborate? Universal design bathroom.
Olga, I think it was on that chart that you showed in the beginning about what renovations give you the most value. I think that's where those terms were used.
Okay. Oh, okay. So universal design means that the home should be accessible to all people, regardless of their age, size, or ability. So I think what they're talking about is the type of bathroom that everyone is going to be able to enjoy. Like, for example, let me go back real quick. Like, for example, if someone is not being able to climb in the tub, right, and they need help, then there will be a walk-in shower for them and a handle, right, if we're talking for someone who may be a senior. So that's what they're talking about, is that everyone who, whether it's young or older, is able to use the bathroom with equal capacity. Okay, perfect. And you know what, too, like a lot of people ask me, well, we're going to be remodeling our bathroom, our master bathroom. Do we need to have a tub? And I always tell them that if you have a colonial home that is 2.5 bathrooms, right? Someone who's going to be buying your home is going to be someone that has a family. So in the master, no, it's not necessary to have a tub. It's always preferred to have a shower, right? Because that way you can just walk in and out. But for the family, the second bathroom should have a tub for kids. So that's what I suggest. All right, anyone else has any ideas that maybe they have done that they like, that they've done on a budget and it was something efficient and cool looking? All right, so if you guys start doing some of these updates, I'm always looking forward to seeing like befores and afters. So you have my phone number that's on the presentation. So please don't hesitate to text me the pictures and then tell me this is what I'm working on, because I always love to see the progress. The clients that bought the house in December are remodeling their kitchen, and I'm bugging them every week. I'm like, send me your progress photos. I want to see what you're doing, because they removed some of the stuff that I suggested to them to make the room for bigger cabinets and higher ceiling spaces. So I'm always curious to see how that actually, what I imagine in my head is how it's actually going to look. So I'm always looking forward to that. All right, if you don't have anything else, I hope that you enjoyed this workshop. We have tons more that is coming up, so I would love to see you again. So check out our schedule and feel free to register. Everything is always free and there's no obligation, but I'm here for you if you need any recommendations, anything that's real estate related or anything else at all. Always welcome questions. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you.
I'm reading the chat stuff.
You usually close it out, so I wasn't sure if you were going to stay or not. You're muted. Yeah, there you go.
No, I said Cherie. I don't know if she said lack of microphone. Okay.
Wait, what? It?
She didn't have a mic, so I guess she can't talk.
She also, I did some research. She's a Miami, Florida investor.
That's pretty cool.
Because I thought her photo looked a little professional, you know, and I was like, uh-oh, is she an agent? But she's an investor. She has like a company, you know, where they, I guess, basically try to buy your house for cash and then they flip them. So I guess she was trying to get ideas for flips or whatever.
Well, that's good. I want to talk to her.
Yeah, she didn't give us her cell phone, but you could probably find it because I saw she has like a Facebook page.
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder where that other lady lives, Erin.
She's
she found us through the library, so I guess she's local.
She should be local. Yeah, I'll definitely reach out to her because I like how she had like a million questions.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like so curious, like, what is this ugly site next to you? Is it a graveyard? Is your neighbor's yard a dump? Like, I'm so curious, you know?
Yeah, I know. All right, so that's good. Nobody ever sends me their befores and afters, even though I tell them.
It'd be so fun, but it's just like another thing that they would have to do that they just don't think to share. I send you my before and afters.
You did, yes. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of this. I forgot to mute my phone, so I muted my phone just as I was starting, and I'm glad that I did because it's like very popular agent for Hamilton House right now.
No.
Yeah.
I sent that form over to Maria.
Okay, great. Because I think
are they going to go look at that house?
Yeah, we're going to go tomorrow at 1.
Okay.
So, but she needed the COVID form beforehand, so we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, for the MLS sheet that I'm sending through Dot Loop, do all 4 of them need to initial it, or is just the 2 of them okay?
Oh, never mind.
Because I noticed, like, on all the forms, like, you have 4 signatures, so I just wasn't
getting the parents have to sign too. It's all right. I have it printed. When I see them for the offer, I'll have them initially.
Okay. Do you want the newest one to take to them because I added like the amount of money for updates, or is the one that I sent you okay?
Fine.
Okay.
It's just the little suggest
Okay.
it's for the office. All right. Okay. That's about it for now.
Okay. Talk to you in a little bit.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Mhm.